Good morning. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Aditi Sharma, proud and happy alumni of International School of Informatics and Management, MBA batch 2017-19. I'm so thankful to my college for providing me opportunity to host today's session. I really appreciate the series of webinar Dharohar initiated by IIIM to create space for new learning and to connect with alumni come industry experts to share their knowledge and experiences. So today's topic for webinar, making women travel safe and easy, revisiting marketing strategies of travel on cards. I would like to invite and welcome and introduce Mr. Ankit Jain. Sir is a book of inspiration for many people, especially for leaders who want to explore their entrepreneurial journey. He is a director of Travel on Cards Private Limited, an initiative for women travelers and now on its way in becoming India's leading travel and lifestyle club for women. In just a span of less than 5 years, a bootstrap travel company created a vision for itself by helping more than 4,000 women and ensuring their safety and giving them opportunity to explore the world on their own. Sir also had a corporate experience of 3 years as operation manager at Zinpact and worked with digital marketing company. He is an alumni of MBA batch 2009-11. He was very good in academics and being a leader was active in other social activities like president of finance club, quizmaster, and did anchoring in events. We welcome you, sir, and looking forward to know your journey from IIIM to being an entrepreneur today. So please.
Thank you, Aditi. Thank you for this wonderful introduction. So this has been almost like 9 years of work experience after IIIM, and it's been 5 years of experience in travel industry, starting my own business. So this has been the journey so far.
Okay, so sir, like how about your this plan? Your this travel and tour company. What is the story behind why this industry? Why not any other industry? And how about your this company?
Okay, so so if anyone is interested in becoming entrepreneur, I think this story and this journey might be a little inspiring for you. When I was in Genpact, before Genpact, so let's talk about when I was in IIIM. IIIM gave me an opportunity where it was not just all about theoretical knowledge or just bookish knowledge. The entire curriculum, as well as the faculties and the atmosphere of IIIM, helped me in uh, it helped me in getting more exposure to the real business world, to the real corporate world. And in those 2 years, we learned a lot of things about how, when we enter into the work corporate world, as a person, what kind of confidence is required in a person. So IIIM, those 2 years helped us a lot in nurturing and cultivating the talent which was required in the real world. So the first thing that I started post IIIM was Genpact, and it was almost 2.5 to 3 years in Genpact where I realized that there's something more that I can do. And in fact, during the course of MBA also, we had a couple of trips to Kerala and Mumbai for various college fests and other trips, where this traveling bug actually bit me. And once I left Genpact and I came back to my hometown, Udaipur, there was a void because being a small town, Udaipur being a small city, there was no big company which had the background I was looking for, the finance background or the KPO background that I worked with Genpact and the work experience that I had. So later I realized that if I want to travel the world, there's only way that you can do is by having your own travel company and helping people travel. So this is when I entered into the travel industry, and now there are so many companies across India and across globe. Everybody is into travel industry, and travel industry was something which was growing at a speed of more than 300% year to year. And it was that time we had to figure out that what different can we do from a small town of Udaipur, which can set us apart. And this is with one of my friends that I was discussing. At that time, she was pursuing PhD and she had to attend some seminar in Lucknow and Chennai. And this idea was generated from the problem that she was facing. She wanted to go to Lucknow and later on to Chennai, and her family had questions about where she will stay, where she will go, and is it safe or not, and all these questions that we generally have. So this is where we realize that women always have to face these challenges. They have to take permission, and even if they get permission, their safety is a concern for their parents and their loved ones. So not just the traveling, the staying, the accommodation, all these things were always something that bothered the family members. So this is where we realize that a lot of women are missing out big opportunities due to this. And that's where we realize that we need to have a company which helps women travel. And they need to come out of the four walls of their responsibilities, their life and all, and they need to see the world as we men are able to see it very easily. Because for us, it is as easy as we just book tickets and we tell and inform our parents, and we just go. And when we go outside and when we travel, it's not just about clicking photographs and it is about looking at the scenery and all. It's also about meeting new people, learning new skills, and a lot of things that we learn when we are on the trip, whether it's a business trip or a leisure trip or whatever, we just learn so many things. And that's where we realize that if women goes out and if they get all these opportunities, they can become more powerful in terms of their corporate life, in terms of their working life. And that's where this idea of creating a women travel company was born. And that's how we started with this concept of a women travel club, where women from across India and across the globe will come with us, will travel with us, and they can come in, they can be a solo traveler or they can come in a group of one or two, but they'll be traveling along with unknown women. So this is how we started trying to solve the problem and ensuring that they're safe during the trip. So this is how we started this company.
Yeah, so interesting. So, like Travel on Cards provide personalized and customized tour to women so that they can come out of their shell and feel free and travel around the world. So, sir, how do you
Correct.
ensure like women's safety and how you connect with your prospects around the world, especially from different part of countries?
So, very basic things that we started with when we were starting our venture. And this challenge was because there was one challenge because we were from a very small town and reaching out to the people from different cities was a little challenge. That's where we started understanding the correct use of social media. Now the youth is just using social media in terms of Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat and WhatsApp for sharing memes and other unproductive activities. But where we realize the true potential of social media, that uh, if we try to ignite the correct fire, this can help. The social media can help actually everyone. So we used social media in a social cause where we were trying to bring out women, come out of their home, travel with us. So the initial social media post and the campaign was around uh, trying to convince women that if they travel with us, they'll be safe. And to ensure their safety, we had one female, one of my partners. She was on the tour. I was particularly part of the tour for the initial couple of tours. And before going to a certain place, we used to visit there once. We used to ensure about the properties, the drivers, the places that we are going to visit, and we used to ensure that everything is safe and secure. And all the tie-ups that we did, we ensure that since women will be coming, we had to be extra cautious and precautious about everything from A to Z during the trip. And this is how the concept was, and the campaign for social media we started with. And everything from their booking till the last day of the trip, when we'll drop them and see off them at the airport, we ensure that they are safe. There's some person from our trip along with them. They'll be always in the group. They'll be always connected through WhatsApp and everything. Even if they want to go for some solo activity during the trip, they'll be accompanied by one or two person within the group. And this is how we ensure that women will be safe. So first and foremost priority was their safety. And this is what got us a lot of reference business, because once few initial trips were there, we got a sense that this is a company where they're ensuring everybody is safe. And that gave a lot of reference to us. And we got a lot of reference business after that.
Okay. So, do what you love and love what you do is said. So, with you, entrepreneurship is by chance or by choice?
Uh, so this is one thing. In 2009 and 10, when we started our MBA, we in the initial first semester only, we got into a lot of activities. We got into a lot of activities like quizzes and seminars and ad making and a lot of things. And that is where we started a small quizzing club as well in Jaipur itself. And that's where we realized that we want to do something of our own. Me and my couple of my friends, we want to do something of our own. But life had different plans for us. Luckily, me and my friends were the first few of the slot who got placed. And as it's with everyone, we had no money with us to start our business. And this was at that time we were naive. We had no idea how to start our own business and how to run. And then we had an offer letter in our hand by the end of the IIIM semesters. And we wanted to do something on our own, but we had an offer letter. So then I joined. I and my friend, they all joined their respective companies. But it's still in the back of the mind, there was always something that there's something more that we can do. But after joining corporate world, we realized that corporate world training is very important because it makes you more professional in whatever you want to do. So after 2.5 to 3 years stint of the corporate world, the experience that we gained over there helped helped me particularly in starting this venture. So I always wanted to do it, but then I obviously worked in the corporate world, which helped in eventually to start my own business.
Okay. So, what challenges you came across after quitting your job and how you overcame that?
Okay, so all the listeners who are listening, I think if you want to start your own business, or even if you started your own business, you would be able to relate. Is because once you quit your job, there's always everybody asking you this question that what are you going to do? Although you know that what you want to do, and there's always be this question. And the second most important thing is that there'll be people who will be doubting your idea whether it will work or not. And the third important thing is that the funds. You need to have funds to run a business. Even if you start something, you would need 3 to 6 months or maybe a years of working capital, 1 or 2 years of working capital to make it a profitable business. So the challenge that we faced was that, as I said earlier also, that we were starting from a small town and we had to reach a larger audience. So the first thing was to have a fund that can help us to survive for initial few months and that can do a little marketing for us. So funds was a little challenge in the initial phase, but the savings that I did. So anybody who wants to start a business, all the listeners, I want to tell them this thing, that if you want to start your business, if you're doing a job, please try and save as much as you can, because that fund will help you to survive for the 3 to 6 months or 1 year of time where you want to start the business. So that is very much important. Because if you're dependent on your friends or a loan or for third party to fund you for 6 to 1 year or 2 years of time, then it will give you an additional pressure. So it's better to have your own funds before you want to start. And second most important thing, that your idea should at least have revenue generating model. Lot of time we have good ideas, but they do not have a revenue generating model, or even if they have revenue generating model, they are not scalable. So these two things are very important. They should be able to generate revenue and they should be able to scale it. They should be scalable model, because if you generate less revenue, you'll not be able to survive for long. If they are not scalable, again, you'll not be able to survive for long. So these two challenges you should plan in advance before starting any business on your own.
All right, sir. So, who are your competitors and what is unique about your business? What USP and specialized service you are providing?
Anybody from any company which they have started from a small city or local, they have started traveling company till big conglomerates like GoRB, Make My Trip, and all these companies. Everybody is competitor in this industry. So as I said, in 2010 till 2020, what we have seen till 2019 is that this travel industry has grown from 300% every year. So everybody is a competitor, and it is not difficult to replicate what you're trying to do. In 2015 and 16, when we were doing the pilot of our women travel thing, this was very new. Only one or two companies in India were organizing women tours. So even they were operating from Bangalore and Delhi. So we were relatively new, and we didn't have much of competition, and that helped us in giving a lot of good initial kick for our business, because the initial few tours, what we did was we utilized social media in a very good way. Every woman that was traveling with us, after ensuring their safety and having a wonderful trip, we were recording their experiences, we were taking their feedback, we were taking their reviews and everything, and we were bombarding it on social media that what we are doing. Like you'll find our channel on YouTube and on Instagram and Facebook, and you'll see that a lot of women have given their video feedbacks, and these are all live feedbacks which they have given when they were on the trip, and that had given us good boost to our business. So once the few initial 1 or 2 years were good, 2016 and 17, and that's where in 17 and 18 we started facing a lot of heat, because every company that was so we were just operating in a niche market. We were just targeting women, and also those women who wanted to travel but could not travel. So this was very niche market. So every company that was into travel industry, they started their own segment or their own parallel company or their domain, where they started their own women travel club. And that's where we started facing more competition, because everybody realized that helping women travel was the next big thing, and and that's where everybody started their own company. So this was one big challenge that we faced after initial few years.
Okay, sir. And how about like the advertising strategies and how wanderlust people or women traveler can connect with you or your team?
So again, when you are starting a small business or when you have limited funds to start your own business, the best thing to do is to stick to what you know or what you can do. We knew social media. We knew, I had a little background of digital marketing. So I knew Facebook and Instagram and Google ads and Facebook ads. So I knew the algorithm, how it works. And this is where we targeted the most of the thing. Now, what people do over generally when they start their social media handles, they start their paid accounts. वो लोग अपना पेड अकाउंट शुरू करते हैं, मतलब कि वो 1000 से लेके 10,000 monthly budget use करते हैं, and that budget they try to increase their likes and the followers and everything. We adopted a little different strategy where we found the influencers. Who are the influencers on these social media? जिनके पास में 50,000 to 1,50,000 or maybe 2 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh followers हैं. When we reached these people, we had a deal about for posting on their pages. Like we posted our ads on their pages. Because of that, in a very small period of time, हमारे पास में बहुत ज़्यादा followers आ गए, because everybody was liking the fact that there is a company who is helping women travel, and we in our ads we clearly focus that it will be one of a kind of experience where you will be coming out of your responsibilities and just enjoying the trip with unknown travelers. And that helped everyone. That actually created a fire in social media that, okay, there's a company that is helping women to travel. I want to go. And when one woman was willing to go, she got another few of her friends to travel with us. And that spread very quickly and easily. So in our initial few trips, we spent a very small amount on marketing. But once the trips were live, we heavily used their videos and their feedbacks and their reviews for promotion and everything. So no print media ad, no television ad, no radio ad. We didn't have budget for that initially. We just used social media in the correct manner, and even we didn't use the paid advertisement in that. And this is how it helped us.
All right. So, sir, as a business owner, what are your responsibilities and how about your team? How you manage and
Okay. this is one thing that I tell everyone. And again, I want to tell everyone who is listening to this podcast or video cast that it is easy to manage operations. Is it easy to manage finance? Is it easy? It is also easy to manage all the day-to-day activities. But the most challenging and the activity which requires your most energy is managing human power. Because one thing is that people with skills are very rare. As in, people with skills will move out, will find a different job. To find people with skills who will stay with your company, you have to invest heavily on their training. You have to invest heavily on their motivation. You have to invest heavily on their growth. So for my team, I have always adopted a strategy that I have spent a lot of personal time with each and everyone within my team. I have groomed them, I've helped them to uh, improve their skills, and I have given them vision to think bigger for their work itself. So once you have worked on your team, once you have trained your team, once you've groomed and given them a lot of knowledge and inspiration and all, they will stick with you for a longer time and they'll work to their best potential. So I'll tell everyone that to grow big in any company or to make your company big, it is very important to invest a lot of time in your team. Train them, groom them, mentor them, and give them vision to grow. If they are taken care nicely, if everybody is feeling like it's their own work, the company will go a long way. I always say one more thing that if you want to go like अगर आप बहुत fast जाना चाहते हो, grow करना चाहते हो, then it's you can go alone. But if you want to grow bigger, then it is a team that can help you grow bigger. I cannot take care of everything. There are a lot of things to take care of when you're running a company, from finance to operations to hiring and all those things. So if you have a good team, then all the work is divided and things get everybody gets their own responsibility and accountability. So invest heavily on your team. That's my major thing that I do.
Absolutely, sir. Right. Teamworks always make dream work. So, sir, like, what about the present situation of business because of COVID-19? What keeps you going, and how about your future plans?
Okay, that's a good question. So the industry that has been highly impacted with this COVID is travel industry. Like to be honest, nothing is working at the moment, and people and news channels and everybody has their own opinions. Many of them are optimistic. Many of them are shutting down their business and all. I'll be very honest about the fact that is happening. You cannot survive without sales. This is the basic of every business. And right now the sales are zero. So that is true fact. And I have talked to my various of my clients who had their trips booked for these all these months. The general consensus among people is that they do not want to travel right now. When I ask them when do you want to travel, the feedback is that यार at least एक बार जब medicine आ जाए, जब दवाई आ जाए, then we'll think about it. So no matter how pessimistic or optimistic you have to be realistic and you have to realize one thing that people will travel once they know they are safe and at least they'll not catch any infection or virus from anywhere outside. So the first thing is that you have to realize that 2020 is going to be a tough year. 2021, if the medicines are out and if things go fine, people will start traveling. Now, the second thing is that everybody is willing to travel now because this is the second feedback I've got from everybody. बहुत हो गया. It's been 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. People are stuck in their homes. They want to go. They want to go to mountains. They want to go to beaches, and they're wanting to go out and travel. So once the medicine now, people are going to travel. So this is what keeps us going. That yes, it will start, but you have to be patient with what is happening because this is something which is beyond our control. So your second question that how do I keep myself and my team motivated is like we have prepared mentally ourselves that it's not going to work. So accept the reality. This is the first thing that you can do. Second is this is the time to invest in learning new skills and tools and everything. This is the best that you can do at this moment. Because आप अभी कितनी भी marketing कर लो, आपके पास में revenue नहीं आने वाला है. So you have to understand this thing. If revenue is not going to come, you cannot survive for a longer period of time. So right now, what you can do is like my team, my entire team. What we're doing right now, we are learning new tools. We are learning social media tools. We are learning graphic designing tools. We are also starting a small new venture. So for that, we have been getting trained, and hopefully in the 1 or 2 months, we'll be again starting with another venture, which will go parallel with the travel industry. So this is how we have been utilizing this time right now.
Okay, so like we have many attendees who are pursuing MBA or looking forward to pursue MBA. So what's your opinion and suggestion, especially for MBA students to go for a job and get the experience and then start something of our own, or like just after MBA, if they have good idea, they can think for startup.
So this is another good question that you've asked. So this depends from person to person, and this depends from idea to idea as well. If you want to start your business, the one thing that you have to be ready, if you want to get into entrepreneurship, if you start your own business, one thing that you have to be very clear is that you have to have a strong mind, because business one shot mein nahi chalta hai. It can take 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, and it can have losses. We have incurred losses in a couple of our trips. So you should not feel demotivated with whatever happens. When you are in job, there's a fixed income monthly which you are getting. So by the end of the month, you will get your salary. So that is one security that you have. But in business, and even if you start your business or in middle of the business, there is no surety. Sometimes you can have losses. So some days you go like this, but some days you come down like this. So you have to be mentally strong about this thing, not to get demotivated with whatever circumstances happens. So if you are in MBA and if you are willing to start a business or if you are willing to do a job, first and foremost thing, if you have any idea that this idea is going to work, find out two things: whether there's a need of this particular idea in the market or not. That means जो आप आइडिया दे रहे हो वो किसी प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व कर रहा है कि नहीं. If it is solving any problem, then there is a potential of उसका business होने की. Right? You're getting my point? If your idea is solving a particular problem, then it might get converted into business. And second thing, whether it can generate revenue or not. If your idea has potential of solving a problem, and if your idea has potential of generating revenue, and third, if your idea has potential of scaling up. If these three things are clear, then you should definitely find a mentor, find a partner, find somebody to improve your idea, and that can take your idea to next level. That is the execution phase or the pilot phase. If your idea is matching all these criteria, you should definitely start within your MBA timeframe before your MBA ends. But in case even if you don't have any idea at this moment, or you're not clear about idea being profitable or generating able to generate revenue or not, in that case it is always better to have a job in hand, because even if you do job for 1 or 2 years, there's nothing you're going to lose. Okay, so you have time. See, understand, when until you're 25 or 30, you have time to take risk. You can take a lot of risk in your earlier days. So even if you do job for 1 or 2 or 3 years, there's nothing you're going to lose. You're going to gain experience. You're going to gain income, which you can save, and that you can use for your business later on. And in that 1 or 2 or 3 years of job time, you will have networking. Network with as many people as you can. Have a strong connection with strong people who can motivate you and inspire you, and get good friends who inspire you to start your own business, because that experience, that money that you saved from salary will help you to start your own business. So it still depends from people to people. So my final answer on to your this question would be that it depends from person to person and idea to idea. That's my take on this.
Yeah. So what skill set is required for an MBA student to become industry oriented or make themselves sellable? So like in these 2 years, what are other skills on which a student in their college life they can work on?
Okay. So this is, I'll consider that getting into IIIM was one of the best decision. Although I was trying for other colleges during my CAT time and other period of time. But why I find that 2009-11 was the best time, not just because we had fun and we enjoyed a lot, but also because theoretical knowledge is always going to be a part of any curriculum. So you have to understand and learn and give exams and clear all these things. So this was going to be the part. But what I liked the best was during those two years of time, we indulged ourselves in a lot of activities. as I said earlier, quizzing, marketing events. We organized Mosaic, and we were also part of various ad mania, and also getting sponsorship for various events and all these things. So we went out to a lot of companies, to a lot of people, to meet them and to get funds for sponsorship and for other activities. And in those 2 years, we got a lot of opportunities to go outside, meet people, gain experience, and that in return gave us a lot of confidence to deal with outside world. That's where we realized that this is how the outside world is going to be. And in these 2 years, if you're pursuing MBA, focus on your studies. That is important. Gain marks. That is very important. That is like, your daily routine work. You have to do that irrespective of everything. But what is even more important is gain experience. Go out, do internship, go to any radio station, become an RJ, go to any company, do an internship, ask for an unpaid job or a paid job, ask them to train yourself or teach you some kind of tools. And I would suggest go into the marketing field, because the more people you talk, the more people you network with, the more people you communicate with, this is going to give you the best exposure, the best learning, and the most confidence you will gain is through that. So this is where your 2 years should be heavily invested. Organize events, be an anchor, do whatever you can do when you are in college. As many mistakes as you can do in college is okay, because when you enter into corporate world, mistakes won't be accepted, they won't be tolerated. You cannot commit mistakes because you will be judged, your performance will be judged based on how you perform. So even if you're shy, even if you are an introvert, it's okay to go out, talk to people, get this thing out from yourself, become confident. So this is what I'll say. In these 2 years, utilize your time in getting the confidence.
Very right. So your company travel on cars as a bootstrap.
Aditi, can you just repeat your question? Your voice is cracked.
So like company is all about travel and tour, and it's a bootstrap company. So how about your finance and
Okay, so
when it comes to
I could hear the partial question that our company is bootstrapped and it's all about travel and everything. So I'll just give you a bit idea over here. We are not just a travel company. We are a company that helps women come out of their four walls of kitchens and responsibilities, forget everything, leave everything at home, come travel with unknown people, travel with different set of women who are from different background, diverse background. They are from somebody is a teacher, somebody is a businesswoman, somebody is a homemaker, somebody is running their own business and everything. So when they meet, when they talk to each other, when they discuss, when they share their stories, everybody get inspired. Even I get inspired with what women are doing, and I personally believe a lot that women have a lot of potential. If they set their mind on something, they can achieve everything. So this is the basic idea of our company, that help women travel. And when you're making them travel, it's not just about visiting any places, going to beaches or mountains or Leh Ladakh or any other places. It's also about learning new skills. When we go to a particular place, we learn their tradition, we learn their local cuisine, how to make it, and we learn about local businesses and how can we get local business to their own city and all these things. So one good example I'll give you from a couple of my trips is like there were a lot of women who came on that trip. They were all unknown to each other, and they had such a great bonding during the trip that they started their own business in Mumbai and Goa. So what they did was they hired few of the properties in Goa, 4 5 properties in Goa, and they kept it on rent on Airbnb and other websites, and they started generating revenue from that. And see, so they were unknown before the trip. They did not knew each other before the trip. And after the trip, within a span of 5 6 years, their bonding grew to such an extent that they started their own business. This is where I consider TravlOnCards a successful venture, because this is what the motive of TravlOnCards is, that helping women travel, come out, get these opportunities, and become independent in every possible way that you can be. So this is what we started with. And if we talk about how we started in terms of funding and everything, we were bootstrapped. I started with my partner with our own savings from our job, And luckily, so we started with one of our room in my own home only, and later in 2 3 months we were able to generate this much of revenue that we took a small office, and today we are a private limited company with a team of more than 10 people right now. And luckily, we're still bootstrapped. We have not taken funds from anybody, and we are profitable. We have had more than 4,000 women who have traveled with us in the last 4 to 5 years. And we have also taken various college trips, including a lot of college trips from across India as well. Especially women related college. We have helped them to travel. We have had also industrial visit for them. So to trying to help them to get this experience of how the industry works and everything. So that has helped us to stay profitable, to stay afloat, and this is what we have been doing. So if you go to our Facebook page, TravlOnCards, you will find a lot of women, their videos and their photographs who have traveled with us and their feedback.
All right, sir. If you had one piece of advice.
Hello, Aditi, can you please repeat the question? Am I audible? I think there is some network challenge. Just wait with us for a few minutes.
Am I audible?
Yes, now you're audible.
Okay, so my question is like, if you had one piece of advice to someone who is just starting out or start something of their own, what would it be?
One piece of advice who's just starting out. Okay,
Their
so
own startup, yeah.
be passionate about your idea. Everybody says this thing. I was very passionate about traveling since my college days, undergraduation or post graduation. I wanted to travel the world, and that was one goal that I had. And so I always wanted to travel, and this is where I realized if I'm in Udaipur city and I want to travel the world, and if I don't have a lot of money, how do I do it? And that is where I started my travel company, because I was in a clear process that if I make people travel, I'll get to travel. So after starting this company, I have traveled almost entire India, and I have traveled a couple of places outside India as well. So this has been the biggest motivator for me. I would tell everybody who want to start, who is starting fresh, is that be passionate about what you want to do. Figure out solution to the problem. You might not get. अगर मैं simple travel company start करता तो might not have survived for very long. I just found out a niche market. I found out a problem to a solution, and that's what I would suggest you. Even if you have an idea, if it is not working directly, figure out the passage to make it work.
Okay, so we have one question from our attendee. Women always passionately involved in their work, but in the job like tourism, when they have to travel for a longer period, do you think it is safe always?
See, this is the part of the problem that you are trying to solve. I understand that women always have responsibilities, and this is the problem that we initially faced before. So I'll tell you, I think you would have faced, and I think anybody, any listener, any women listener would relate to it. Before you are working, when you're a student, you'll always have to take permission from your parents and everything. Once you're working, you still have to take permission, or you still have sometimes to a lot of people to answer before you go outside for travel related work. And once you're married, there is a lot of things in back of your mind in terms of house, kids, kitchen, and all these things. So this is the part of the problem. If women are not given equal opportunities in working world, how would they prove themselves in the corporate world. So this is the problem that we're trying to solve, making them realize that going out and traveling is not an issue. You should travel. Secondly, when you're talking about being safe, this is what we're trying to do: make traveling safer for women in every possible terms. Once they get the confidence of going out and traveling and realizing that there is a world which is safe also, the confidence will help them again to travel and go out and start their work on their own. So it is not the ultimate aim is not about helping them travel. The ultimate aim is to help them to go out into the world and prove their skills and prove their talent. So ultimate aim is that. So this is traveling is just it's just an stimuli which will help them to gain the confidence that yes, you should go out, you should work, you should network, you should meet people. This is just a confidence building thing, nothing much. The picture is much bigger than that.
Right, sir. Right, great. So thank you, sir, for very informative and sharing your inspiring journey with us. I want to thank to all the attendees. We appreciate you being here. And a recorded version of this webinar will be available on YouTube. We'll see you next time. Stay happy, stay protected, keep learning. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Triple M.